All I want to do is show something beautiful, you know? If it's a war, great, awesome. Let's make it a war that people will remember. You know, let's make it something where people say, what are the top 3 matches you've ever watched live? I got to watch Lovato and Cyborg at Fight to Win Pro 7, and I'll never forget that.
Add about 5 to 10 pounds to that load, one more wave, that's it. Yeah. Now, between your waves and during your rest, anything goes. Any light hang, any crawl, Indian club, you know, a couple of, you're gonna do pull-ups after, but a couple of pull-ups or push-ups, just a good general activity, keep moving there. Mainly, get on those Indian clubs, get the hands going.
Yeah. You know, not really too much is changing for this match with Cyborg. I've already kind of been in the Jiu-Jitsu aspect. I really don't have to worry about my weight, so I can eat and maybe get an extra pound or 2 of muscle.
His conditioning, his mindset, his preparation, his competitiveness is going to really be put on display, and you're going to see, whether it's a finish or not, you're going to see a clear victory from somebody who's just on another level right now, man.
I've been coming here for about 5 years now, so I'm pretty much here 5 times a week.
Today was more just like kind of a base strength, strictly strength day. So there was a lot of, you know, rest between each movement. Or 3 close, 2 middle, 2 or 1 wide. I'm just trying to stay super simple, stay strong, stay healthy movement patterns. And so, you know, the last couple of days we did a lot of conditioning and a little fatigue, so today was just more of a tone down.
My name is Rafael Lovato Jr. I've lived in Oklahoma since I was 8 years old. I'm a 3rd degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Rafael Ribeiro. Martial arts has been, you know, part of my life since day one. My father is a lifetime martial artist, and you know, some of my earliest memories as a child are training with my father.
My journey actually begins when I was a boy. I grew up in the west side, southwest side of Chicago. I stepped into a martial arts school. It was a Taekwondo school, and I'll never forget, the minute I walked into the school, I knew this is what I had to do. And no kidding, I walked up to the instructor, but I said to him, my name is Rafael Lovato. I looked around, and 1 year, I'll be better than anyone you have here. And he just looked at me. And at first, I thought he was gonna hit me and tell me to get out of there, but he says, all right, prove it to me. I joined up. 1 year later, I was.
Well, my father brought Jiu-Jitsu here to Oklahoma. You know, we were the very first Jiu-Jitsu school. You know, we were the first ones to bring the Gracies here. You know, black belt, high-level black belts to teach seminars, and you know, so my father's really a pioneer of martial arts in this area. He also helped get MMA legal here in Oklahoma as well, you know, which led to UFCs coming here and things like that. So, you know, my dad is pretty much an American martial arts pioneer in general.
My father was showing me, you know, as he was learning, he was coming home and showing me, oh, this is an arm bar, this is a triangle, this is the guard, here's the mount, and I started to get the idea of how it worked.
Come on, Rafael.
Pressure. Elbow, Rafael. Pode. Who's head down now, Rafael? Roll him up, roll him up. Like a best, Rafael. Grab his leg. Let go of the guard, let go of the guard, let go of the guard. Let go. Straight down, bro. Fica aí, Rafael. Go straight down. You can't slam him. You can't slam.
Come on, Rafael.
Puxa a cabeça. Ganha a cabeça, Rafael. Dá one.
Good job.
At 15, 16, I remember I took him with me to Los Angeles. And he was training at the Machado School in LA.
You got about 2.5 minutes, man. Fight tag.
I got my own gi, and and I went to Brazil first time when I was 16 with the Machado team, aka the Gringos. It felt cool. It felt really cool to be a part of that.
He always brought me a gi, some shirts, whatever, some mementos from Brazil. But the main thing was, hey, Dad, look at this. This is what I've been learning. Look at this. Check this out. And so, the old man, the original instructor, became the student.
I don't think you have to worry so much. Yeah, I just attack. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're really bringing the judo into your wrestling.
Yeah. It's lazy.
You wrestled when you did judo.
That's right.
And now you're doing judo with your wrestling.
That's right. Yeah. Are we doing another split round?
Whatever.
I'll go one more. I'll give it my old college try.
I'll start with Travis.
We're at the Oklahoma City Police and Fire Training Center. This is where I work. I'm a defensive tactics instructor for our department. We have a group of guys on the police and fire side that are involved in martial arts, predominantly judo and jiu-jitsu, and we train 3 days a week and just train with Rafael, trying to give him another big body to get used to dealing with for Cyborg.
Fridays are really, for me, like a recovery day. I don't teach on Fridays. I get my workout in the first part of the day, maybe do some training like this. You kind of get a little energy here first.
Yeah. Like make him think that.
I'm trying to fight this.
I'm trying to get heavier. Yes! Exactly.
I'll try to hit up the cryo session and get a little cryo. Sometimes I'll ice bath.
We're gonna cryogenically freeze him, and we're gonna wake him up. When do you want to be thawed out? How many years? No, I'm just kidding. No, he's gonna go in. We're gonna cool the air around him down to about between minus 200 and minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and he'll be in there for 3 minutes. So it's kind of like a supercharged ice bath. Way less painful. Lots of fun, right? Yeah. Cryo's fun.
Yeah. It's so much fun, guys.
So yeah, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We stay in the room the whole time with whoever's in there. Make sure they don't pass out. If you breathe the liquid nitrogen gas, you will pass out. Oh, wow. It's not harmful to the body, but if you pass out, then your naked body falls out of the machine, and nobody wants that.
I'm chilling. Feels great.
At the World Championships, when it was in Brazil, the Americans would talk about the other Americans who were doing well, like, man, that's so cool, you got a world medal. Even if it was bronze, it was like, dude, that's freaking awesome, And then all of a sudden, I really didn't even know BJ. I thought he was still a brown belt. And then I heard that he got his black belt, just like the week of the Worlds, the week right before the Worlds. And I was like, oh. And then next thing you know, people start, like the rumor starts getting around, there's a gringo in the finals. watch BJ win the world championships as a black belt. You know, I saw it right there. And that definitely inspired me. I remember telling people, I said, I'm gonna be the next guy to do that. So 16 going into 17, I definitely really turned things up. I started competing a lot. I won the Pan Ams pretty dominantly. I submitted 2 out of my 3 opponents. And then, you know, that led to going to the Worlds in 2000. Really great performance. I didn't get a gold, I took 3rd. I actually lost to Big Mac in the semifinals, who I would meet years later, and he was about the same size back then too. He was already Big Mac. He already had that nickname, Big Mac. I remember them yelling it at him. I realized that I had to take a bigger step, a bigger commitment to getting out and training with better people. When I was 20, after 2.5 years of college, where I had like this little, hey, mom, dad, I need to talk to you. You know, I need to go to Brazil and stay there for a little while. And so, you know, I dropped out. My dad like had his reservations at first, like I don't know, but deep down he did know. You know, he knew that passion because he did the same thing. He gave everything for martial arts. And that was right around the time that I had met Saulo Ribeiro. At that point, he told me, call him Saulo. I said, hey, Saulo, good to see you. You know, how you doing? Why aren't you competing? He's like, oh, I'm coaching, resting. Okay. And he's like, you want to come train? And I said, yeah, I do. And he had Shanji with him, and came and picked me up from my hotel, drove me to Copacabana, where his academy was, and that was my first experience with Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu. And right off the bat, I fell in love. I could see his energy and the way he interacted with his students and competitors. He saw something in me, and I'm so thankful. I got much better, and I really became connected. I was training every day with Shanji. But man, I got beat up a lot. In the worst way. That year in 2004 was the last, Saulo wasn't there that whole 4 months. He was setting things up in the US, in Ohio. They had a growing association in the Midwest. But then they both moved officially to Toledo, Ohio. You know, obviously I was continuing my training with them, and so now they're not in Brazil, which is great. I don't have to go all the way down there. I can get both of them in one spot in the US. And so I started going to Toledo all the time. And let me tell you about Toledo. We would be in this freezing cold Toledo, Ohio, snow up to here. The academy had a heater that you had to turn on. First off, I would stay with them, okay? And I never knew when training was, okay? It was pretty much when Saulo felt like it. I would immediately wake up early in the morning. We would hold our gis up to the heater. Saulo would literally come out, boom, make his coffee, not say anything to us. Maybe he turns on a song on his computer, and the next thing you know, he comes out, he's like, time to train. You know, so intimidating. He's so intimidating. We would do these training routines that were just, it was just like crazy. We would spend 30 to 45 minutes just on the warm-up. There's 3 of us, so there'd be one of us on each side and one guy in the middle. You would run over to one guy, do 20 takedowns, rep, and then finish. Go to the middle, do push-ups. Run to the next guy, another set of 20 takedowns. Then go to the pull-up bar. Then go back to the original guy, more takedowns, then squats, then more takedowns, pull-ups again, you know, planking, like whatever. And we would each take turns, you know, doing that in the middle, you know, 10 minutes each person. And that was just getting started. You know, then we would do grip fighting. Then we would do judo, like takedown sparring. Then we would do positional sparring. Then we would do regular training, okay? And so there's 3 of us, so there's an odd guy out. The odd guy got the Airdyne bike. And if you just crude, like if you were just barely moving that bike, Sal would yell at you. Every time there was like the 2 guys in the middle, so it'd be Sal and Shanji, anytime that there was a hard battle, I was supposed to be sprinting at the same time they were going hard. And then when they slowed down, okay, I cruised. They go, I gotta sprint. And then I would come in, and the other guy would go to the bike. And dude, man, we would do that for hours. No matter what, I was getting my butt kicked. Maybe I had a decent round with Shanji, but then Sal was coming out right after. So, man, that training made me a man, for sure. I had this extreme amount of hunger and determination going into 2007.
So today was Thursday morning, advanced class training. You know, it's always a good group in here. We always get, you know, a little bit of a mix too. We have a lot of guys from blue all the way up to, you know, purple, brown, and black. I use this time personally, you know, a lot myself. This is time where me and Professor Rafael, we, you know, can bounce a lot of ideas off each other. Like I ask him a lot of questions. You know, he's got the fight to win. You know, event coming up against Cyborg, so we're doing a lot of no-gi training right now. You know, just depending on what we've got, you know, coming up, we use this time to do a really lot of like technical training, really dive in, and then usually get a couple hard rounds in.
Have fun. Keep moving.
For someone who's never rolled with Rafael Lovato Jr., can you describe what that experience is like, what it's like to roll with him?
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, you feel pretty much like a pancake the whole time, you know, when he gets that pressure passing going. But seriously, you know, probably, you know, one of the best grapplers that, you know, I've ever had the pleasure, you know, of going against, train with, competition. Probably the best no-gi guard that, you know, I've ever tried to pass.
Everyone stay engaged, stay focused, give your energy. Cheer on your teammates, push each other. Don't let anyone ease up. Don't let anyone do what Bond's doing right now. No hands on the knees. Do not show weakness. Do not show you're tired. You walk or go for a jog when you're done, okay? Push, all right? This is it, holiday, all right? Let's work hard today.
All the respect in the world to Cyborg, you know, super nice guy. But, you know, I really think Cyborg's gonna have his hands full.
Knowing Rafael and his guard game, and just as much as he's been working on a stand-up game, he's threatening with submission all the time, and so it doesn't matter the position, so I would look for a submission.
Every single time that I roll with him, I get better in some way, shape, or form. You know, whether it was a mental, you know, thing that day, whether it was a physical thing, a technique thing. You know, he's always so very helpful. I take away something, you know, every single time, while getting smashed pretty good.
I kind of started to surprise people as, you know, hey, this white kid, you know, I kind of looked like I could be Brazilian with my name and everything too, but when people figured out I was American and they were like, oh, you know, I like that.
What the heck is that?
I started at the end of 2006. I started going into as many tournaments as I could. I did the American Nationals. I won the Nationals. Going into 2007, I said, I want to do the whole thing. Let's go Europeans. You know, my first time to go there. went into Portugal with Shanji, took gold in my weight, third in the absolute. You know, winning that really like, you know, it showed me like, I'm ready. I'm ready to be a champion now. I'm ready to be a world champion. Chanting and the energy and, you know, like it was a soccer match. Seeing all the black, just being in there, seeing them all was kind of like, whoa. And that was like the first time I really felt that outburst of like fire, you know? This is my day. This is my day. I'm in the finals with Big Mac, who was the, you know, absolute champ in Brazil and everything. And that's the kid that beat me in the juvenile division 7 years before that, in 2000. 10 seconds left. I managed to get a really tight, it kind of started as a straight arm bar, and then it turned into an omoplata. I grabbed my leg and, you know, had it, and I was like pushing for it, and then he turned, and then the time runs out while he's in the omoplata. And I look up and I'm like, please give me an advantage, you know? And Muzio was the ref, and sure enough, he goes, advantage. And I get up and I start screaming, ah, like, yeah, look at Sunshine, like, ah, yes. I almost didn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it, that I really had just accomplished what was my, you know, at that time, my life goal.
Your 2007 Ultra Heavyweight Champion.
I can almost put myself right back to that moment. First thing I did was I ran off the mat, and, you know, I jumped into Salo and Shanji's arms, and that's when I really just had an uncontrollable cry. And, you know, I was just like, all I could say was, I was hugging them and I was crying. I was just like, thank you, that's all I said. Man, that was definitely like a moment I'll never forget. My mind just went more and more into jiu-jitsu. It's fight night. I'm ready to give everything I have out there.
Shit, dude. Salo's here too. No way.
Clash of Champions.
Oh, man, I feel great today. Ready to bang.
Okay, almost done.